Hey guys, Jay Doran here, CEO of Culture Matters. I'm here with Bill. I can't talk today. Bill Mervin. Don't cut it. Bill Mervin, branch manager, Master Universe of Annie Mac Home Mortgage. And we're talking about something that I could talk about for 18 hours a day, 7 days a week. The three pillars that you have used to build this amazing business.
Yeah. So the three pillars. I got together when I was putting this branch together, and I got together with some kind of key people in my life, whether it's some advisors in my life and key people in the business that were going to kind of start the team with me. And we kind of collectively pooled our knowledge, our experience of all the realtor meetings and the different things that we've done over the years, and to see what really resonates with our core audience. And the three pillars are accessibility, pick up the phone, right, be available, communication, let everybody know what's going on at all times. Realtors, again, that's our primary business. Realtors are out there. You guys want to be out there getting more business, closing the business. You shouldn't have to be tracking us down to find out what's going on with your files. So communication. And then third, no surprises. There's just, in our business, it is riddled with either delays or files that are denied due to a lack of due diligence. And there, in my opinion, is zero excuse for it. We closed last year 205 loans, and we submitted 205 loans, a number I'm extremely proud of, and it's because...
So you submitted 205 and closed...
205.
So all of them?
Yes, 100%. And it was because if we're not sure the answer, we wait till we get the information to be able to make a decision, and if there's a gray area, we work with our underwriters and work with our team to get an answer up front. There's just no excuse for not doing your due diligence. If you guys are out there showing houses, you shouldn't show houses for a weekend and then for weekends in a row, only to find out that I can't close a loan. And while I'm focusing on the realtors, the consumer that has their house packed up in boxes and their kids registered in the school to be told that they can't close because I didn't do my job properly is just unacceptable.
So everyone in your office, do they have an understanding of these pillars?
Yeah, they better. To work on our team, they do. Yeah.
Okay, so all right, so I'll use an analogy. If you're coming to my non-denominational church and you want to read that Bible, you better know the 10 Commandments, not L. Ron Hubbard's Scientology commandments or whatever they are. Not that there's anything wrong with his or anything wrong with the Christian. It's about sharing beliefs.
Yep.
Because I heard you said about due diligence. Right now, if what your results, to me, it sounds like, of 205 loans done, 205, they were all closed.
Yep.
Right? Absent. So 100%?
Yep.
Now, the due diligence is the pillar of belief.
We had one fallout this year that was something that was not on the credit report, so I don't want to. I
Okay,
probably got that one realtor. And that wasn't mine personally, but I'm responsible for the team, so I'll take responsibility for it. I'm responsible for the team.
You had one.
We had one because I know there's that one realtor out there saying, I know we submitted one with you that didn't close, but this year we're going to.
What is that, 0.5%?
Oh, well, yeah, we're going to be closer to 250 to high 200s this year, so that'll be one out of about 500. So that's.
Even right now, that was 0.5%.
Yes.
The point I'm trying to make is, you said something at the beginning.
Yep.
You said accessibility, and then after you said the word accessibility, you made a statement. Do you remember what that was?
That if you're going to be, if our realtor partners are out there hustling, then we should be available to support them.
The three pillars, those are, for example, if I ask Rob, the first couple words that come out of your mouth when you hear the word accessibility, what would you say? Available.
There.
Say like a sentence, like a statement.
It's available.
It's available. Period.
Yep.
If I ask 10 people that word, the word accessibility means, they're all going to give me different answers.
Yep.
So it's about context.
Yep.
Now, by you being in that environment and being a leader, what does a leader do? They lead with their actions.
Correct. Yeah.
First. Okay. That creates a culture, which is a metaphorical ecosystem of shared belief.
Yep.
So people believe that accessible means whatever you want it to mean.
Yep.
However, it's about putting that statement after the word, so everyone knows. For example, in one statement, you tell me what accessible means to you.
Well, in the context that I see what you mean. That's a great point.
Because I heard you say something really profound.
In the context that means for me, For example, there was a realtor I work with that this Wednesday night, they wanted to put an offer in. The buyer had some questions. I went through multiple different scenarios from them from about 10 o'clock to about 11 p.m. And I sent a pre-qual out to my realtor at 11:45 at night. To me, that was what accessible meant. Accessibility means if you need a pre-qual, you need somebody to run some numbers, you need somebody to update a pre-qual, whatever that means is if you're out there hustling on a weekend, showing homes, meeting buyers, and you partner with us, you reach out to us. Accessibility means you email me at 9 o'clock. Most of the time, you're going to email back at 9:05 at night. Or if you email me late at night, you're going to email back at 5:30 in the morning. That's what accessibility means to me in this context.
That's amazing. Say that in one statement.
Always, as it relates to our realtors, it means that we're always available for when you need us.
Period.
Period.
Period. Now, could you see that on a billboard?
I could.
We're always there when you need us.
Yeah.
Okay, now, you ready? That's your first commandment.
Yep.
Accessibility.
Yep.
We're always there when you need us.
I like it.
Because now that context, all you got to say is the context, and everyone in that office, can they say, oh, well, that does, we're always there.
Yep.
And you don't got to push it down their throat every minute.
Yep.
And you've already proven that your cultural value of accessibility works because it mirrors your results, which are actionable with the systems of everyone believes in accessibility because you're there speaking the word. And so what do? They become accessible. That brings more deals in. Now, this is the catch, though. When you told me about your pillars, what was the second pillar?
Communication.
Communication. And now, if you were to put a statement behind that to sum up what it means to you, what would that look like? You said it earlier.
That what I said earlier is that all parties that are involved in the transactions that we're involved in should know what's going on at all times, and we should be the ones to reach out to convey that to them. They don't have to track us down to find it out.
Okay, so that last part of what you just said, say it.
The last part, that we're the ones that are reaching out. You're not reaching out to us for an update. It's on autopilot. Whether it's once a week that we update you on the loans in process or the pre-quals, we're initiating communication with our partners to let them know all the way from loans that are in process to people that are out looking for homes to prospects that are still out there that we're working on. We want to let them know what's going on with everybody at all times, and they don't have to track us down to get that information.
So communication, we reach out to them. They don't have to track us down.
Correct. Yeah. Bang! It's another billboard.
And now, your people believe in accessibility. They believe in communication because they see the leader showing the way.
Yep.
So they go the way. And it shows in your results. If you have 200 plus transactions and less than 1% didn't go through, it's because of, you can easily overpromise. For example, if they're always accessible, that's the belief system, and they're always communicating, that's the belief system. However, they don't go the extra mile to actually do the due diligence. You have 500, 700 loans go through and nothing actually closes, correct?
Yeah.
So that last pillar is what? Due diligence. And what does that mean to you?
Due diligence means that we check every single aspect. For me, I have a very linear mind, but the mortgage business, it flows. If you know the guidelines and you know your material, you either have the documentation that you need to make a decision or you don't have it. If you don't have it, you request it. Once you have all the documents you need to make a decision, you either know the guidelines or you don't know the guidelines. If you're not sure about the guidelines, our company has a underwriting scenario desk, and I also have access to my underwriting team leads, and I can get the answer and I can clarify it. And if it happens to be an interpretive issue, I can get the answer up front. So there really is just zero excuse if I have an attention to detail and I am assertive about what I need, and I'm not being wishy-washy as a salesperson. I'm saying I need these documents to do my job properly, and then I seek out, either know the information first and foremost, or I seek out the information from the proper resources. There's just zero excuse for a deal not closing. It's just, it frustrates me endlessly when I see deals that don't close.
Yeah, because you think.
But I like it because our competitors do it, and then and then it gets us more business.
Well, it reminds me, you have 5 kids, right?
5 children, yeah.
So, if your children do something that frustrates you, but they don't know what they don't know, how can you blame them?
Correct.
So them not knowing what they don't know, isn't that just their lack of a belief system in some kind of action to get a result?
Sure, yeah, absolutely.
So if you want your children, which in this case in business, if your employees weren't your children, in a sense, they'd be you, because the only difference is that they've got to learn the systems and learn the culture and learn the belief, right? To grow. So due diligence is that belief system that keeps them to take those actions. So in one statement, what would that look like?
Due diligence is...
I heard you say something beautiful earlier.
I would just say, I'm probably going to not pick out what you picked out, but just, due diligence just means, we don't release and we don't get everything a clean bill of health and say we can do this until we've just looked at every single aspect of it. That, to me, that's...
Pause.
Yeah.
We don't
move forward
until we look at every single aspect.
Every single aspect.
If you put that on a billboard, would that explain what due diligence meant?
Yeah, in this context, sure.
Now, if you pause that, whether I had some fluffy, profound, beautiful painting, Leonardo da Vinci, of words to say of how it could have sounded nicer, or not, the beauty of all this is that there's 7 million plus words in the English language. So it isn't necessarily the words we use to put our cultural principles into context, but the emotionally intelligent outcomes or actions that come from using them.
Yep.
So if you but it just is what it is.
Yep.
So once we find it, which we may have today,
yep,
and you transcribe it, meaning it's written down,
yep,
and your people read it, aspire to it, and you implement it daily. You do it daily. I call it find it, transcribe it, do it daily. Before you know it, you've got a culture of people that share that belief. And I didn't notice that about you, that you had these 3 pillars. And now, to me, all I do is study this stuff and read about this stuff and love this stuff. It makes perfect sense why I'm sitting in your beautiful home in your living room and why you've had such a great couple of years. Because you're doing exactly what all the great leaders have done in the last 2,000 years. Whether it was a family, whether it was an individual, whether it was a company, whether it was a spiritual awakening, there were leaders who found it, transcribed it, and they did it daily with people. So I commend you for that. That's like
awesome.
Badass.
Thank you, man.
Badass Bill Mervin. That's his new name, guys. So
you heard it here first.
Pillar. We're not going to go into this. We'll save for another time. But what is that 4th pillar you've been working on?
Well, our last piece we were saying, how do we get this to the next level? Good service, while it's not standard, should be expected if you're a good agent. So our next piece that we've been working on is coming alongside of our partners. The agents, the individuals in my business that are good at what they do, oftentimes they have an attitude of I'm good with what they do, and they have their hand out. So our last piece is not to have our hand out, but to give back. So we're putting systems and processes in place to basically partner with our realtor partners to help generate business together instead of just asking that to be a one-way street.
That's amazing. And it's funny that you bring that up, because there is something called, I've heard of recently, something I've been doing that I didn't know what it was. It's called experience marketing. So for example, if most of your 7 out of 10 of your deals are coming from helping agents close their deals, you get out there and you have conversations like this, that from what it sounds like, being accessible, communicating, and doing due diligence. Don't agents have to do that?
They should.
Don't humans have to do that? Don't like adults, don't parents, right? We all don't friends. So by going in and doing a lunch and learn, like having this conversation we're having, but in a room of 30 people, you just gave first.
Correct.
Expect nothing, which is my core principle. Remember, there's a lot of words that we can coin this stuff with, but all that matters is the emotionally intelligent actions that create emotionally intelligent outcomes. So, I love it. Hey, awesome. This is Bill Mervin. This is the future president of America. No, I'm just kidding. Annie Mac Home Mortgage, Doran, CEO, Culture Matters. I hope this talk was enlightening, and we'll see you soon.